Welcome to Vinyasa Flow class. Today we're going to use a block if you have one at home. If you don't have a block, that's okay. Anything that is sturdy that can bring the floor up to you, like a heavy book would be okay, or simply skipping it and not using it at all is just fine as well. So today's class is flow, meaning that we're going to move through a quicker pace through a good portion of the class. If at any time you need a break, you just go ahead and settle into maybe a child's pose and take a break and then come back to the practice as you see fit. We want to listen to our own bodies and really just care for ourselves, even though we're getting a bit of a workout and a work in this practice. You might even want to have some water nearby. Let's go ahead and just take a moment to really come into our practice. So if we can start lying down on our backs on our mats, that would be great. So go ahead and just rock your knees to your chest for a moment and then rock around on your mat. You just want to find yourself in your space. And we'll go ahead and drop our feet on down to the floor, open the arms out nice and wide. You might even just take those feet out to the sides and then drop the knees together. Close your eyes and let's take some breath. As we begin to come into this practice, we'll start slow, and then we're going to build some fiery heat in the body. We might break a sweat, and then we bring it back down. So I was thinking about this practice a little bit like a little bonfire and how it starts and you just, spark it, and it's a slow burn for a little bit, and then it really starts to burn and flame up, and maybe that's like a cleansing time. It gets rid of all the trash that maybe you threw on the fire or whatever. It burns it up, and then it slowly dies back down into this beautiful, warm, just glow. Think of your practice today as the fiery heat that you can use just to burn out anything, thoughts, emotions that aren't serving us today. Continue to breathe here, just a few more long breaths. Make sure you're breathing into the belly, ribs, and chest. Deep exhales, releasing, relaxing, taking all the air out. Good. We're going to take a big inhale breath here and then exhale through the mouth and let it be audible on your end. Good. The next one, same thing. Big inhale through the nose. On the exhale, stick your tongue out and down for lion's breath and really breathe out. Feels silly, but it's really cleansing. Good. Tuck those knees in towards the chest. Just rock around again. This time with the idea of maybe finding some spaces in the body that need to open up. So maybe the low back, maybe the hips. Good, and then point your legs straight up into the air. Just take a minute, point, flex your feet a couple of times. Get all the snap, crackle, pops out, round through the ankles. And then just reaching up, see how far up the legs you can grab, and then keep the low spine on the mat, pull the legs back towards you. Bend those elbows as you draw inward. Again, lengthening the whole spine along the mat, trying not to even lift the low back. Good. Come back to line those legs right over the hips. Slide those legs open into a V shape. And just begin to make small circles here. Circling through the hips. Good. Just feel those hips begin to open. Good. See about going the other way. Let the motion come deep in the muscles closest to the body. Good. Just drop in. Hold this open V shape like there's weights on the end of the feet, just dragging those legs open. Good. Pull the legs back together. Bend the knees. Keep the knees over the hips. Flex the feet. Legs in tabletop. Bring the hands to rest. Clasp behind the head. Tuck the navel in. Inhale your head and shoulders off the mat. And then begin to just gently rotate your right shoulder towards your left knee. Keep the elbows open. And then switch to the other side. Left shoulder towards right knee. We're just firing up here the core a little bit. Moving from side to side. Good. It's good for our immune system, which resides a lot in the belly, to work our core. Fire it up just a little. Good. Keep moving, whatever pace feels right to you. Making sure that your head is resting back into the hands, that you're not pulling at all on your neck. Good. Just feel that warmth. Take a couple more. Nice work. Come back to center. Release the head down to the mat. Place your hands down by your sides. Continue to keep these legs in this tabletop position. Inhale the head and shoulders and arms off of the mat. So pull your ribs towards the hips a little bit here, navel in, and just begin to pulsate those hands as though you're pushing down on something that you're trying to, like little easy buttons or something from the commercial. Just push, 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 push. Good. Keep your head and neck lifted. Try not to strain. Nice work. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. We're going to take the right foot back to the floor. Lift the left leg up into the air. Extend the right leg if you can, but if that's too much, that's okay. You can leave it bent. Either one's going to be just fine. Good. Go ahead and work your hands all the way up the leg here, as far as you can, and then inhale and lift the head and shoulders off of the mat, and just kind of pulling nose towards knee. Get a nice big stretch. Little engagement in the core. Let's switch. We'll take the head down, bend the left knee, send that right leg up, grab on. Now make sure you're not behind the knee, so it could be at the thigh or all the way up on the calf or even up at the ankle. Lift the head and shoulders equally off the mat. Stretch the left leg down if you'd like. Point those left toes towards the sky, nose towards knee. Good. Now we're going to keep this little lift in the head and chest and begin to switch the legs and switch. And as you get the leg, give it a little tug in, so it's a pulse, pulse, and maybe the extended leg just floats off of the mat and stays a little lifted. Keep going. Good. Feel that beautiful stretch up the legs, warming up the core. We're going to go for about 3 and 2 and 1, and release and hug the knees to the chest. Yes, nice job. Drop the feet down, open the arms up just a little bit, slide those knees side to side. Just breathe here. Windshield wipers. Good. You can feel maybe that warmth in the belly near the solar plexus. Feels lovely. Let's bring the knees back to stillness and now rock the head side to side. Release any tension there in the neck. The tendency when we work the core from our back is to maybe pull the neck a little bit. Just release anywhere along the line of the neck that you might have tensed up. All right, guys. This is a fun little move, but if it doesn't suit you, that's okay. I'm going to tell you we're coming to standing from lying down. So we're going to pull our knees into our chest and start to rock on our spine until we can come onto our feet and lift up to standing. And again, if that's not going to work, you just come to standing however you would like. Here we go, lift up. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, take a nice big inhale once we're at standing. Reach the arms up over the head. Exhale, fold in half, forward fold. Take a moment for this fold. Breathe. Crown of the head towards the earth. Legs long. Sit bones lifted. Good. Now we're going to flow with some movement here. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Keep the belly toned. Exhale, fold. Do it again. Inhale, sweep it up. Tuck the belly, exhale, long spine, fold. One more time, inhale, reach up. On the exhale to fold, sweep those arms to grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, hang here. And just gently rock from side to side. Let the upper body be heavy, those legs are strong. Good, soften right down the middle, maybe even hands to the mat now if they'll touch. Good, just take another breath. Excellent. Place the hands at the top of the mat if you need to bend your knees to get them flat on the floor. Step all the way back to downward facing dog. Hips will lift, tuck the belly in, and just look back between those ankles. Good. We're going to lower down the heels, heavy the heels, send the heart back, lengthen the arms. Inhale, lift up onto the toes. Exhale, heavy the heels. Inhale, lift up to the toes. Keep hiking those hips up high. Exhale, heels down. Let's do one more like that. Nice. Make sure your hands are gripping the mat nice and strong here. Bend the knees till the shins are parallel to the floor. Lift up. Exhale, bend those knees. Keep your hips lifted really high. And then reach back up, long legs. Go ahead, keep going. Bend the knees. Lift tall. Good. Good. One more. Nice work. Go ahead and start to pedal one foot and then the other. Getting the straight leg heel close to the mat. It doesn't have to touch, but maybe you can kind of feel how deeply you could go without overdoing, without overstretching here. Good. Just keep moving. Draw those shoulder blades apart. Good. Come back to stillness. Drop on down to those knees. Bring yourself into kind of a plank pose on the knees here. So we're going to bring our wrists underneath the shoulders, maybe slightly in front, and just take 5 pulses, bringing the elbows straight back and arms by you as though we're doing a modified chaturanga. 5, elbows back. 4, you don't have to come to the floor. Just find your distance. 2, 1. Nice job. Set it all back. Stretch the arms out, child's pose. Again, just feeling free anytime in the practice to come here. Take a few breaths, press your forehead to the mat, rock your forehead side to side. Just imagine any thoughts that you have today that you're ready to let go of being like sand in an hourglass, just filtering their way down out of your mind and into the floor. Nice job. Let's take an inhale breath and come back to downward facing dog. Good. This time we inhale onto our toes and exhale the heels to the right. Inhale onto the toes, exhale the heels to the left. Good. Move with your breath. Sweep up onto those toes, pike the hips, drop the heels right. Sweep up onto toes, pike the hips, drop the heels left. Let's go one more round, your pace. Feeling the side bodies kind of get a stretch. We're going to hold on the right. Hold the heels to the right. Stay strong in both shoulders. Good. Go to the left. Nice job. Coming back to center and then walking or hopping your way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Good. Put the weight into the balls of the feet here. You could even let your heels almost float off the mat as you deepen this stretch. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and out. Get nice and tall and exhale, standing mountain pose. Nice work. Take a breath. We're going to work our way through some sun salutations. Nice smooth movement with breath flowing from one pose to the next, finding those transitions to be a time when we can kind of just focus back in on our breath and on what we're building that heat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step right foot back. Crescent lunge, inhale, sweep the arms up, hips are squared. Breathe here. And then exhale, hands to the mat, step back, plank pose, top of a push-up. Knees or no knees, chaturanga. Bringing yourselves to up dog or cobra. Up dog has our chest a bit more forward and our legs off the mat. Curl your toes under and lift those hips, downward facing dog. Step or hop your way top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway rise, flat back, shoulders back. Exhale, hands to the mat, fold. Send the left leg back, crescent lunge here on the inhale breath. Reach those arms up and over and then hold. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, plank pose. Go through your flow, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, your choice. Meet me in downward facing dog. Take a breath. Good. Step your right foot into the air, three-legged dog. Nice. Keep squared through the hips and shoulders when we're in three-legged dog. Toes face the floor. Exhale your foot through. Coming back to crescent lunge, right leg in front, reach up. This time, let's add those pulses. Lower the knee down, lift up. We've got 5 of them. Straight down, straight up. Hands down to the mat, exhale, plank pose. Go through your flow, meet in downward facing dog. You can use those knees as a modifier to chaturanga. A cobra instead of an up dog, leaving our legs on the mat. And even using the knees to rise back to down dog. Listen to your body specifically in those flows. Take care of yourself. Lift the left leg up, inhale, hold here, three-legged dog. Pull that navel in, pull the heart back. Exhale your foot all the way through. Left leg in front, left knee over left ankle. Crescent lunge, shoulders down the back, and begin. Drop that knee down and lift. Now if you don't want to add the pulses, you can just stay in your crescent lunge. Good. Let's take the hands down to the mat on the exhale breath and step back to downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Placing the hands firmly into the earth, bending the knees and keeping the hips up. You can choose to hop or step your way forward. Forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale to fold. Hands to the mat and stepping that right leg back once again. Very good. Let's go back to crescent lunge. Breathe. Good. We're going to hold this one at the top and lengthen out through the back heel. Nice work. Now, begin to bend that back knee, and without touching the knee down, hold here. Good. Reach that back leg long again. Press out through the back heel, hands to the heart. Good. Hinge forward. Don't lay on the thigh, just hinge away from the back leg. Nice. Bring your right elbow outside of the left thigh. Press the back of your arm into the left thigh and look up over your left elbow. Come back to center. Here we go through our flow. Take the hands to the mat, step back, plank pose. Let's go through our flow. You can begin to mix it up. Maybe a full chaturanga with a cobra. And then down dog. Your choice. Step or hop your way to the top of the mat. Make sure your hop is nice and quiet, landing. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale, left leg back. Stepping into our crescent lunge. Inhale, this is a high crescent to start with a nice press out through the back heel. Let's go ahead and release that knee down a little bit, looking for a bit of a 90-degree angle here. Hold, feel that beautiful stretch in that hip flexor. Straighten it back out, bring your hands to the heart. You're going to tone the belly, lengthen through the spine. Keep your hips squared as you reach forward. Right hip comes back just a little bit. Good. Rotating to the right and looking over the right elbow if you can. If that's too much, just look to the floor. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Take an inhale, bring it back around to center. Reach those arms back up overhead. Exhale the hands down, step back. Downward facing dog. Let's breathe here. Good. We're going to move our bodies forward, our body weight into a plank pose. And we're going to rest here for a moment. Not resting, but working here for a moment. Good. So pull the thighs nice and tight, your glutes tight, your belly in. And then let's rotate the heels over to the left. Push into the left hand. Sweep that right arm into the air. Good. We're just going to stretch out side body here. So we want a little lift in the hips and then reach the right arm towards the front of the mat. Good. Pike up those hips. Reach the right arm back. Good. Now let's find a little pulse. You reach and pulse. Reach. Back towards the feet, towards the top of the mat. Pulsing those hips. 3, 2, and 1. Rotate back to plank. Take a little pause on the knees. Breathe. Good. Moving back to plank pose. Drop the heels to the right. Press into the right hand. Left arm rises. You could just hold this. You could drop that bottom knee for a little support. Stretch the left arm up and over. Keep those hips piked up. And then just begin to move. So you're going to pulse the hips and move the left arm down and up. Back down and up. Couple more. Stay strong in that right shoulder. It's not collapsing at all. 3, 2. Let's do one more. Bring it back around. Nice job. Plank pose and then inhale. Down dog. Breathe. Draw the shoulders apart. Let the down dogs be your rest. If they're not restful to you, you go ahead and take a child's pose. Step, walk, or hop your way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale your way into chair pose, Utkatasana. Sitting down and back, and we're going to put the weight in those heels. For a check-in, just bring your hands to your thighs. Lift your heart. Try to maintain that lift as you take the arms back up overhead. Shoulders plug into place. Nice job. Bring your hands down to heart center. We're going to sink a little bit deeper. See if you can keep that heart lifted, but sink deeper. Pull the navel in. There you go. Breathe. Lift the toes if you can. Wiggle them around. Make sure that weight's back and down. Knees back. Breathe. Big muscle groups. Nice. We're going to stay nice and low here. And we're going to start to step back towards a crescent lunge and lift the arms up overhead as you do. So hands are at heart center. Right leg comes back. Crescent lunge. I step back. Hands back to heart center. I step back. Left leg. Crescent. Back to chair. Keep going. Good. Find those nice soft drop-ins to the pose. Controlled movement. I'm going to take 2 more on each side. You got this. Keep breathing. 1 more each side. Good. Hold here, chair pose. Good. Press through your feet. Give yourself a little break. Stand up nice and tall. Standing mountain pose with hands up prayer. Catch your breath. If you feel that heat building, feel that heart rate rising. Very good. I want to set us up for success for this next round. So we're going to take the first one really slowly. Good. We're going to come back to chair pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, chair. We're just building where we've been. It's going to be fun. Let's bring our hands down to the heart. Good. So we just stepped the right foot back. And when we did, we raised our arms. Let's do this first one nice and slow and safe. We're going to rotate open. Drop that heel down. Hips will come to the right edge of the mat. And the arms will come open. Warrior 2. Get a nice big stance right now in our slow one so you can see where you can be. Front knee tracking if you've got a mat that has lines. Maybe look down. Back foot is paralleling the back of the mat. Now when I come around, I want to come back to crescent lunge. So I'm going to pick up my back heel, come onto the toes, rotate around, close the hip back off, crescent, chair pose, hands at heart. All right, let's do a slow one on the other side. Reach up, step back, crescent, left leg back. Open it up. The left hip swizzles wide open towards the left edge of the mat, so both hip bones to the left. Back foot parallels the back of the mat. Front knee tracks open over the front ankle. Good, I'm going to rotate that back arm around. Turn those back toes back to the front, crescent. Step forward, sink down, and find my chair pose. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's go. Lift up the hands, reach back with the right leg. Open up, warrior two. Sweep it around, crescent lunge. Step it forward, chair pose. Other side. Left crescent, left warrior two. Open up. Back to crescent, tricky little close off of the hip and rotate through the toes. Chair pose, Utkatasana. All right, here we go. Let's do it a little bit swifter if you get a little lost. Come in when you can. Ready? We'll start on the right. Crescent, warrior, crescent, chair. Ready? Left, big step back, crescent, Virabhadrasana 2, crescent lunge, Utkatasana. One more each side. Boom. Flow your body through. Feel those hips getting nice and warm. Be safe. One more. Nice hold here. Ooh, and stand up. Take a little break. Good. Why don't you bring your hands to your hips and just make some hip circles. Doesn't matter which way you start because we're going to go both ways. You imagine you're in a mixing bowl. You're going to glide those hips to every part of the bowl. Let's go the other way. Good. Loosen up those hips. Nice. We're going to come into working on some balance now before we go into a little bit more flow. So we're going to come to stand in our standing mountain pose to start. Very good. So we're going to go for eagle pose today. It's great for strengthening, stretching. It works from top of the bottom to the bottom of the top of the body to the bottom of the body. So it's really just beautiful. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to step onto this left foot, cross the right foot over. Now you got some options. Put the foot into the outer side of the left calf or tuck the toes. Either way, I'm going to work towards hips being squared. Then just like we've just done in chair, set it down and back, keeping the knees pulled back. All right? Good. Then we inhale, take those arms out to the sides and then bring them around, right arm under the left. Cross the elbows, bend the elbows, backs of palms together or fronts of palms wind together. Now you're in the pose. Bring your elbows up to your shoulder height. Pull your palms forward, set those sit bones down and back like they're in a chair. Pull the core in and just be and breathe. Pull the hips in towards each other, everything at midline. Imagine that imaginary line down the middle of your body and you are bringing your legs together, your arms together, your palms together at the midline. Guys, we're going to take this eagle for flight. Press into the left foot. Stand up and unwind the arms. Lift the arms up. Good. Standing mountain pose. Exhale, arms down. Other side. Right foot roots down. Left foot comes across and over. Pick whether you want to just tuck the toes in. They can even hang out here if that's best for you. Or maybe even go behind. Sometimes I can do one side, not the other. All right, set it down and back. Get that little chair positioning. Arms will come out. This time left under the right. Join in eagle arms. Elbows up to shoulder height, palms forward. And here we go. We just balance, strengthen, and breathe. You can even take your toes down to touch if you'd like. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Take that eagle for flight. Woo! Excellent work. Standing mountain pose. Nice job, guys. Let's go ahead and come back to a little bit more flow here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, tuck your belly, fold. Step your right foot back. And then rotate the right heel down to the left with the heel arch alignment like you would in Warrior 2. All right, guys. We're coming into Warrior 2 as a means of transition. And if you have that block, you're going to place it right at the top of your mat in the high or middle position. Again, if you don't have a block, it's okay. Try it with the floor, okay? We're going to go ahead, come to Warrior 2, right arm back, left arm forward. This is our means of transition to a kind of advanced pose, and so we'll take our time getting there. Flow forward, reaching your hand over the block, and then we're going to just tilt towards the block. If you get your hand on the block, or maybe the floor. And then we begin to find the pose. We're going to press into that left foot, raise the right foot, and flex it. More balance here. Stack your shoulders, stack your hips, and open your body. Good. Half moon pose. Good. Keep breathing. Try not to fall, but if you do, that's okay. Good. Stack those hips open. Roll open through your rib cage here. Think about your body being between two panes of glass. Good. If you're feeling really adventurous, you can go ahead and try to grab onto your foot here and stretch it back. Wait, toes rather. Have a little fun with yourself, stretching it out. Just play into their half moon. Here we go. How about dancer leg? Yeah? So you can do lots of different little things, and then we'll come out. Be more gracefully than me. We gotta have fun on this. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and try the half moon on the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale and fold. Good. Stepping the left foot back, just setting up into our pose. I'm going to go ahead and switch blocks so that I'm towards you, but you don't have to face the screen if you don't want. Warrior 2, right leg in front. All right? Good. Are we ready? Sweep forward. Hinge. Find that block. Now, I'm not worried that the transition coming in is pretty at all. Not at all worried about that. What I want you to do is find the position like that and then start to push all the little things into place. I start to roll that left hip open, roll that left rib cage open. Now I'm there. Now I'm holding. See, so we don't have to be perfectly in the pose to begin with. We can work out all the kinks as we go. And then you can play around again. You can bend that knee. You can stretch it out in front of you. You can play with trying to grab a foot. See how that changes your balance just to kind of play around in the pose? Just be careful. And then see if you can come back to it. Now the fun part is to try to go back to Warrior 2. If you're exhausted here, you might just stumble all over like I did in the first one, or if your balance feels off. But maybe, boom, you could land the Warrior 2. All right, nice job, guys. Bring your hands to your hips, and then rotate to the side of your mat. Let's take a nice big fold. Now your feet are wide, your toes are forward. All right, guys, stretch those hips up. We're gonna come into a little stretchy phase, and then goddess pose, one of my favorites. So stretch it out. We're gonna walk our hands to the right. Nose towards right knee. Walk your hands through center to the left. Nose towards left knee. Walk your hands through center and bring your hands to your hips. Spread that mat apart between the feet and lift up. Tuck the heels in, toes out. Bend the knees and make sure you contract the knees out, not collapse in. Set your sit bones and tailbone down and back as deep as you can here. Inhale the arms up overhead, and then exhale, cactus those arms right out from elbows from shoulders. All right, so here's how we're gonna work through this. We're gonna keep our chest lifted, our shoulders over our hips to the best of our ability, our knees open, and pop up onto the right toes, right heel off the mat. Switch it out, place that heel down, lift up the left. Good, switch it again. See if you can make the switch, the transition at the same time. So as one drops, the other raises. Again. Again. Keep this left one up, raise the right one. Okay, we're gonna go for a little pulse. Pulse, we're up on the toes. The heels are lifted. We're pulsing the tailbone, up and down, up and down. Good. Now lift the arms and lower. Lift the arms, we're still on those toes, but if you need to come down to the heels, that's all right. Palms come to face each other, palms come open. Face each other, open it up. Keep going. 3, sink down, keep your chest lifted. 2, we're holding at the bottom. Good, those legs might be shaking, might be burning. Hold on. 3, 2, and 1. Drop the heels and lift up. Whew. Nice job. Hands to the hips. Take a little breather and turn those feet back in just a little bit. Now, we're going to slide this left knee bent and the right leg out. Good. So you can hang out here, knee tracking open, stretch into that left leg. Good. And then just open it up. It's a little bit like a runner's lunge, but from the side. So make sure the knee tracks towards the toes. You should feel that in your hips, yeah? Good. Come back. Toes more forward, forward fold. And then same thing, but this time we try to get our left glute down towards the heel. So we're going to come to scoot that hip down and then raise your right toes up. Sit up nice and tall. If you've got that block nearby, you can use your hands on the block or you can work on some balance here. Hands at the heart. Ooh, deep stretch, good. Switch it out. Hands come down. Lift the hips. Slide and glide. Other side. Take your time getting there. Lift those left toes. Work your heart up. Maybe hands off the mat, maybe not. Nice work, guys. Hands down. Lift those hips back up. Come to a deep stretch in the middle. You can even walk your hands behind you and really tug your heart back towards the back. Good. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift up. Just hop that little stretch together and come back to the top of your mat. Take an inhale breath. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Setting back to crescent lunge with the right leg back. Good. Coming into the crescent lunge, inhale, sweep the arms up. Notice how different our hips are feeling now. We've done a lot of work here. Nice. Moving slowly through the first one. Exhale the hands down. Now we're going to do a little bit to get the heart rate up again to build that heat. Tapas, as we know it in yoga. So these are little switch kicks. My left leg's in front. I'm just going to switch. Little lift. Let it come from the pelvic floor a little bit. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Good. A couple more. We want to land this one with our right foot in front. Yes. Crescent lunge. Lift it up. Nice. All right, guys. So we're going to go through that 2 more rounds, a little bit more swifter. Our right foot's in front. We're going to land with our left foot in front. You've got, I believe it's 7 switch kicks. Exhale, hands down, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left leg in front. Find your balance. Square the hips. Crescent lunge. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Again, hands down and go. 5, 6. We're going from 7, guys. All right. Right leg in front. There we go. And crescent lunge. Find the balance. This is a wobbly practice today. One more time. Hands down. Switching. 7 of them till you get the left leg in front. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Line it up and crescent. There's the heart up. Yes. Take the hands down. Step back. Down dog. Breathe. Find the breath. I think I burn out so much, I burn out my words too. Nice job. Let's come into a nice deep stretch now. I'm bringing the left knee to the floor and the right foot outside of the right hand. So we want to have the right foot towards the long edge of the mat, right hand inside, lizard lunge. Now you notice my left hip and knee are close to in line, which is just fine, but I may want to kick it back and get a deeper stretch as long as I can keep my hips squared here. Now we're going to take an inhale breath, and then exhale, round the spine, draw the shoulders apart, tuck your belly in, then inhale, sweep the chest forward and lengthen the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, round the spine, pull the navel in. Inhale, sweep the heart forward, look up. Think about a traditional cat-cow happening in this lizard pose. Nice job, couple more. Make sure those hips are staying fairly squared. Keep breathing. All right, coming back to lizard with a nice long spine, strong shoulders. We're gonna make a little transition into pigeon pose. So I'm gonna walk my right hand outside and heel toe my right foot to the left edge of the mat. Now, simply just open up, drop that right knee down and come onto your left thigh for pigeon pose. So my right shin is paralleling the front of the mat. Good. Now if you need to, you'll walk your right heel towards the left hip flexor just a little bit. Just keeping the back leg straight. Breathe. Slight roll onto the right glute cheek as you pick up the left foot and find it with the left hand. Good. You can hang out here, nice beautiful stretch, or maybe work further trying to get the foot into the elbow crease. Breathe. We're going to release the foot very gently back to the earth. And then using the pelvic floor, a little Mula Bandha lift, come right back on to squared pelvis, pigeon pose. So now we're back with kind of that floating right glute maybe. And then just stretch over your right leg. So we're going to release the upper body down a little bit. You can take forearms to your mat, you can use a block, or you can take forehead all the way to the earth, up to you. We've got about 4 nice long breaths here. Use that breath to really release any tightness you feel. Breathe. All right, nice work, guys. Inhale, come hands back to the mat. We got to go do that lizard on the other side. So curl your left toes under, pick your right hip up, step back to down dog. Bring your left hand in about 1 handprint, right knee down, left foot steps forward. So right now I've got my left shoulder and knee kind of plugged together, sweeping that right foot back, squaring up the hips. Good, just find your lizard pose here, hug in. Everything comes still in the midline with long spine, and then we begin the cat-cow. Exhale, round the spine, chin towards the chest. Inhale, sweep it forward. Exhale, chin towards the chest. Inhale, sweep it forward. Keep going. All right, guys, one more. Excellent. And then we're going to just gently walk left heel to the right, left foot to the right. Drop down to a shin parallel and work onto the upper right thigh. Good, let's hold here in an upright pigeon, just getting into the pose, finding our level pelvis for the moment. Stretching through that back leg. All right, so we're going to allow for a little glide onto that left glute, picking up the right foot. Good, just dragging the right heel in towards the quad here, and then working maybe towards moving the foot into the elbow. slowly release, pelvic floor lift, rotate back to square up those hips and be on the right thigh, and then press your way down towards the earth with the upper body so that you get that weight over the left leg and that little deepening in this stretch. Just allow this pose to bring you deeper into this moment, into the heat that you've created into your body. Now we're in that slowing down from the inferno and letting it kind of settle into this warm glow that you can keep with you all day long. Let's take one more breath here and then work the hands back to the mat. All right, we're coming back to that down dog. Curl the right toes under. Pick yourself up off the mat. Down dog. All right. So we need to get to the floor on our belly next. So I'm going to sweep the weight forward and do that chaturanga with or without the knees, but come all the way to the earth. Nice and slow and controlled. There we go. Nice job. Once you're here, I want you to open your body up a little bit. So the arms are going to stretch out in front of you, just a little wide, and then the feet are going to stretch wide. I know that might be hard to see on the screen, but you can think toes could even be at the long edge of the mat or off the mat. Good. Now, my toes, my feet, are going to stay on the floor as I rotate to the left. So basically, I'm going to let my toes kind of turn to the right, rotate my right arm behind me, my toes stay rooted, and I just kind of peel that upper body open. Right arm reaching back now. Ooh, big stretch all the way through the armpit. Just breathe. Nice work. Now, roll back to the belly. You can use a little momentum from the roll to turn you the other way. Keep those feet on the floor. The toes just turn. And rotate open. Left arm sweeps back. Couple more breaths. Rotate back to the belly. Nice and slow. All right, we're going to bring those feet in closer together, legs closer together. Here we go. We're going to bend the right elbow and place the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Find a little lift in the heart and the gaze, and then bend the left knee and reach back with the left hand. Find the left foot and just squeeze that heel towards glute. Press a bit into the forearm, into the right hand, and then inhale and press your foot into the hand. Lift your heart just a little bit more. Good. Release. Switch it. Left forearm in front, paralleling top of the mat. Bend the right knee. Reach back with the right hand. I like to grab onto the big toe side, but you could use either one that you can get a hold of. Up to you. Good. Glide that heel in first. Root the pelvis. And then press away. And lift the toes, pressing into the hand with the foot. Fabulous. And release. Nice. Slow lower down. Bring the right hand to stack on the left. Bring your forehead down onto the forearms. Bend both knees and slide your feet from side to side, massaging out those quads. They've got a nice stretch there. Massaging out the low back. And then gently release it all, let the feet come down, and just breathe here for a moment. You can just feel like a little tummy shavasana resting on your mat, feeling the breath, feeling the inhale, make the belly grow against the mat, and letting the exhale just sink you deeper into relaxation here. Big inhale, big exhale. Very nice. Unwind the hands to underneath your shoulders and bring yourself to tabletop position. Wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. Somewhere that we normally start, we're going to end cat-cow. Inhale, take the belly low, shift the hips wide, take the chest through. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the tail. Let this be super nourishing, like you're giving your spine a sweet massage at the end of this fiery practice. So now the spine and the hips, they're all already warm. This is like icing on the cake here to move through this cat-cow. Coming back to your flat back and just breathe into the back. Nice. Go ahead and step those knees forward rather towards the wrists. Nice smooth movement as you cross the ankles, sit back, keep rotating back, reach the arms forward, and then kick those legs out in front of you to boat pose. Hold and breathe. If you need to, toes can come down. Good, give yourself a great big hug, chin to chest. And gently lift up through the head, take the gaze back forward. If you have a block, there's an option to use it for this next stretch, which will be Supta Baddha Konasana. If you don't have a block or a book or something to put your feet on, then you'll just open up. Feet will touch, knees open, and lay back and down. If you can, we'll lay back and down and do this from a block. It just gives us an even deeper stretch in those hips. So as we come down to the mat, we want a long spine, soles of the feet touching, and then knees opening up wide towards the earth. We're just going to bring our hands onto the hips for a moment here and just kind of melt the tension out. Feel good to return to our mat and just start to really cool down, moving the breath to a much slower pace now. Good place to take a moment to just review what is it that we need to let loose in the fire today. If there's any little bits or pieces floating around in us that we can maybe consciously choose to let go of. So there's different ways that we can utilize to kind of release and let go. And so this fiery practice, this one where we challenge ourselves and we sweat a little and we burn it out and we work hard and maybe we fall all over ourselves and trip and we learn, all of that is one way. And
It's beautiful. But it's a bit more aggressive. And then the other way is just through softening into some of it and really leaning in as a means of letting go. And so at the end of our practice here, after we've been all fiery, whatever's left, let's lean in. It's the stuff that maybe is a little bit more resistant. If it can hold on through the fire, it's definitely a little more resistant. So what we're going to do here is bring our knees together, nice and slow. Take one last little rock around your mat with your knees in towards your heart. And then we'll take a gentle approach to any more busy thoughts, any more emotions that have surfaced or that we know have been residing in us since our last practice, that we just need to softly let go of, give permission. So open your body up, take up some space, relax. All the body work is done, all the fire is settled. Feel the coolness of air around you. With your eyes closed now, just imagine your mind as a brilliant blue sky. Picture that blue sky in your mind. As thoughts drift with you and through you during Shavasana, imagine them like a cloud that just passes by this blue sky view. And then if there's anything left after that fire that you just still are like it's hanging on and you want to choose to let it go. As one of those clouds passes by the mind, can you imagine setting that thing or that thought also onto the cloud and letting it pass out of view? As we begin to prepare to come out of our Shavasana, just bring your awareness all around your body. Fires can seem devastating sometimes, or like a forest fire. We also know that it makes way for new growth. I hope our fiery practice made room for something new for you. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then gently move your head from side to side. And take a gentle rock over onto your right side, into the fetal position, which represents new beginnings. And then when you come out of this position and come to seated, just kind of imagine emerging fresh, new, washed clean, refined by the fire. Sit tall. Bring your hands together into Anjali Mudra. The light of me honors and salutes the fiery light in you. Namaste. Thanks for playing today, guys, and doing this yoga practice with me. I hope you have a great day.